Hey guys, it's Elizabeth from Madero Vlog Moments. Today we're talking about my top 5 rides with Animal Kingdom. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm excited to share with you guys my top 5. I have a whole playlist on this series of just my top 5 at Disney. And I thought it might be fun to share with you if I could pick only 5 rides to do at Animal Kingdom today. Like that was the limit. You're only allowed 5 or 5 experiences. What would I do? And so I thought I would share with you. I definitely want to hear your top 5 in the comment section below to see if they vary or to see if any of mine make your top 5. Very curious. So we are avid Disney goers. We're annual pass members. We've been going since I was a kid. My parents are DVC and I am crossing my fingers that we'll be DVC someday too. But not right now. We go quite often, so we are in love with Disney. So let me share with you my top 5, and I'm going to go from my least favorite to my top. So my number 5 one is going to be Tough to Be a Bug. I could, take it or leave it, but it is fun, and I love those bugs from Bugs Life, and my kids really don't care for it, so it's not one that we get to do often. I love that there's never a wait for this. It always says 5 or 10 minutes for it, and granted, I won't wait more than 5 or 10 minutes for that ride or show. I know what to expect. It's been the same one since I've been in high school. It hasn't changed at all. They hate when the spiders come down, and they hate when the bugs crawl underneath you because they leave first when you're sitting there. But it's a fun, interactive 3D or 4D show where there's scents and sights, and it's just fun adventure. So I love that one. My number 4 is the Nemo show. I love this show. If you guys have not seen it, this is probably one of the best Disney shows there is. It's puppets, but they're live and they're next to the actual actor. So the actor is dressed in the same outfit as Nemo. Because I was wondering when they first came out with it, how are the actors going to dress, or how are they going to be the fish? How are you going to get a fish across the stage? But the actor actually looks like Nemo and Marlin the dad, and they sing really live. And they act live, and it's all around the whole place, and you feel like you're underwater. It's such an experience, and my kids love it, and every time they're just staring like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? I actually really loved the Tarzan show that used to be in that same theater. When they got rid of it, I was really sad, but I think it was more 90s like rock and roll theme, but I thought it was just amazing. But this Nemo show I think is even better. So love Nemo show, that's my number 4. Number 3 is Everest. It's the Yeti ride. This roller coaster is unreal, and this is like a spoiler alert, so if you haven't done it, you may not want to watch this while I'm sharing with you, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. It's an incredible roller coaster that gives you your whole vantage point of the whole park. You can see beyond Animal Kingdom. It's super cool. It's fast-paced. It's a serious roller coaster. The very first time I did it, my legs were shaking when I got off because it was so intense, but I sat in the very front row. If you've never done it, sit in the front or the second row. And it takes you right up to this ledge where the tracks end. Like you're going to go off the ledge and you're thinking, what is going to happen? And all of a sudden, it goes backwards through this mountain, and the Yeti comes and tries to swipe you, and it's so scary every time, and there's these huge hills. It's so exhilarating. I love it. My son, it was almost like a rite of passage. Once he did it, we got him a stuffed animal Yeti. He was very scared. He never wants to do it again, he said, but he did it. And my daughter too, when she did it, she got a pin, and we celebrate when our kids do new rides, like the most exhilarating ones, like Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain, and this was no exception. We got them a pin for riding it. So that would be my number 3. Number 2 is the safari. Now, I have never been to Africa, like real Africa, but my parents have, and they told me that they saw more animals on that safari than they did on 2 weeks in the savannah, and they said how authentic the Disney safari is with the thatched roofs and how they made it. And if you go back and you can watch videos, I'm sure they're on YouTube, of how Disney created the Animal Kingdom, and they brought people over who knew how to build it so that it would look like Animal Kingdom. It's not just sets and props. They built it to be authentic. And so the safari vehicle and riding out, The reason why I like it is not any of those manufactured elements, but it's for the real animals. You really get to see elephants, and one of my favorite things was you don't normally get to see the lions moving. Lions sleep, you know, most of the day, and there's this one rock where it's towards the end of the safari. You get to go by and you see the lion sleeping there. Well, this lion was enjoying a bone or meat or something. He's eating it. Well, he has to get up to go use the restroom. So as our safari vehicle is driving by very slowly, because you'd never see the lions move, typically. I never have before this, and I never have after. We're going by very slowly. He leaves his bone to go use the restroom, and the female lion gets up, grabs his bone, and runs. It was the funniest thing. We all died laughing because the male lion just went to use the restroom, and when he came back, he was looking like, where did my meal go? It was really funny. But you see all kinds of animals, and it's different every time. I've heard that it's better to go first thing in the morning because the animals are up, and I've also heard right before nighttime you'll see the animals, but in the heat of the day you usually don't see too many, and it also gets a very long line, so if you can get a fast pass for that. The Yeti ride too. And then my number one, of course, Flight of Passage. I have never gotten a fast pass for this. Even when we're staying on property and I set my alarm to book the tickets, I can't get a fast pass for it. So what we've done is we've gotten up really early, and we do the early entry for the Disney park guests, and we even show up like an hour before that, and then we've waited in line for about an hour for it. So it's a process, but I have never experienced a ride like Flight of Passage in my whole life. We've seen Avatar. I'm not a huge fan of Avatar. I'm not like ooh, Avatar. I mean, it was interesting. It was cool. I don't really love it or hate it. I didn't buy any of the merchandise, so I guess I don't love it that much. But I literally, the very first time, we've ridden it I think 3 times now, and the first time we rode a Banshee, and it's this huge screen. You put on these glasses, and it's almost like you're you're on a saddle almost that looks like a motorcycle. And you can look up YouTube videos on here to see what they look like. And you're holding the handles, and it's almost like you feel like you really are riding. Once they hook everything up in the screen, you really are riding that Banshee. And I was surprised that this motorcycle type vehicle that you're sitting on moves and feels like it's breathing like a Banshee. So when you're riding it, it's like you're really riding this animal. It was unreal. The views, the sights, the smells, the experience, it is unlike anything I have ever done. That's why it has to be my number one for Animal Kingdom. My number one ride overall for all the theme parks definitely changes as Disney comes out with new experiences. Of course, you have your tried and true favorites, but this is something I have never experienced before, and it's really cool to see how Disney put this together. So if you have the opportunity to ride this, it's worth the wait. We have waited 2.5 hours before for it. I don't like waiting that long for a ride. I prefer not to. I don't think I would again just because we've done it now, but it's a blast. So let me know in the comment section below, what are your favorite rides at Animal Kingdom? What is your top number one? And I would love to chat with you more about it. I love talking with you guys, all things Disney. I could talk about Disney all day long. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.